by Sane. Ecuador, who were well known for their excellent defensive work, but on that occasion it just got laid off, and he has just slammed it into the back of the net. Now ball goes over the top towards Enner Valencia, but Manuel in his orange goalkeeper kit just comes out and collects it, and Neuer will just launch it out. It'll be a long throw up towards Kai Havertz, back to Felix Nemetcha. Now it's Sane who will drive inside. There's Nemetcha out to the left flank to Antonio Rudiger now. There's Rudiger inside towards Jamal Musiala. He is brought down, so it will now be a free kick, but Germany are playing with real belief at the moment. Joel Ordonez, who just got sucked in there and committed the foul on Jamal Musiala. This will be a really disappointing campaign for Sebastian Bacasse's team. Curaçao and Ivory Coast has just kicked off. It's currently goalless between those two teams. Of course, a draw for Curaçao would see them in third place. Germany are guaranteed to finish top of the group. It's going to be a free kick taken by Joshua Kimmich. So Kimmich is going to take it. He actually goes short into Florian Wirtz, comes back into Kimmich now. Thought about the early cross, but just goes short into Wirtz. Musiala bounces it out to the left side with David Raum. Raum goes to cross it in. That'll be blocked off by Franco. He goes inside to Moises Caicedo, and it's Raum who goes down. Comes off a German player, so it'll be a throw for Ecuador here. So Pavlovic was a high foot. It did just catch the head of Vite, so you could say it was a high foot. Sebastian Bacasese certainly feels like that should have been disallowed. As it will be a free kick here for Caicedo. He just receives it from Hincapié. Now it's Vite. Comes all the way out to this left flank. It's inside. Out to that, up towards Enner Valencia. He commits the foul, and the Ecuador supporters are getting pretty frustrated at the referee so far in this game. Very early on, but Tori Penso is getting a little bit of stick from the Ecuador players as William Pacho clears it away, but can only clear it to Wirtz. He gets his shot away. That'll be blocked off on the edge of the box. It's Vite, loses it, and it's Nemetcha back into Jonathan Tah. Tah comes across to Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger will carry it forward for Germany, inside towards Wirtz. Wirtz will just lay it off for Musiala, but there's Vite who'll come away with it. And Valencia sends it on towards Zamora. Can't quite get there. That's Pavlovic on it. It'll be a free kick for Ecuador. It's Caicedo. Just goes back into Vite. I can tell you that Ivory Coast have taken the lead against Curaçao. Nicolas Pepe, one-time big money signing for Arsenal. It's the opening goal of the game for the Ivory Coast. 7 minutes on the clock here. 8 minutes on the clock here between Ecuador and Germany here in the MetLife Stadium. Now this is certainly one of those games that needs a hydration break. There's been a lot of scrutiny about the amount of hydration breaks that have been happening. But this one, currently 29 degrees and the sun is beaming down. He certainly will need a break here as Caicedo on the ball. Gives it into Vite. Vite out to the right flank. Comes into Yeboah. Yeboah back into Franco. Here it is with Plata. Plata will hook it up. That'll be headed by Rudiger. Now Wirtz takes a heavy touch, but that'll be Headed away by Pacho. All the way out with Nilson Angulo now. He's going to come in onto his right foot, and it's a equaliser for Ecuador. And it's Nilson Angulo with the wonderful strike. 9 minutes on the clock. And it's the supporters in yellow who are now celebrating. And it's brilliant play by the man that plays his club football in the Premier League with Sunderland. And just as they were considering packing their bags and flying home, Ecuador get a goal back. It's loose play in the midfield by Felix Nemecha, and it comes out to Nilson Angulo, who looks like he's being asked to play as a left wing back today despite being an attacking winger, and he gets his strike away and he bends it into that far corner. Manuel Neuer is at full stretch, but it's a really good strike by Nilson Angulo, who was just bringing the ball forward. Powers it into the far corner. Neuer was unable to stop it. And Ecuador have equalised here against Germany. And it's exactly what they needed. And it is the side in yellow and blue who go absolutely crazy. What an entertaining start to this game. 10 minutes on the clock. It's Ecuador 1, Germany 1. Remember, Ecuador really could do with a win. With qualify here, would almost guarantee at least a third spot, with Ivory Coast currently winning. A draw as it stands would probably not be enough, just 2 points. Ecuador need to do everything they can to get a win. You can see that Nagelsmann is still taking this game extremely seriously by keeping his full strength side in. It's only really the left fullback who has changed. David Raum coming in for Nathaniel Brown. Is Raum and Kimmich, the two fullbacks, who are stood over this wide free kick, just in front of the technical area. It's going to be Kimmich. Cross goes in towards the near post, headed away by Angulo. Wirtz goes out to the right to Leroy Sané. He's a little loose in it, so Musiala just goes all the way back now to the goalkeeper, Neuer. Neuer will give it to Kimmich. Kimmich will clip it over the top. There is David Raum. Raum will fire it across. And it's William Pacho who'll just boot it away. Now it's Antonio Rudiger into Pavlovic. Comes all the way back. It's Kimmich. Kimmich back to the goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. Now it's Antonio Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger into Kimmich. Kimmich on the ball. Now it's out on the right side with Yeboah. Yeboah will carry it forward, but Tori Penzo thinks that that will be a foul, so she gives the free kick. Oh, it was Nicolas Pepe who scored the goal for Ivory Coast to give the Ivorians the lead. So it is Sané. He's back to Kimmich. Kimmich, ball, and not good communication between Galindez and Ordonez. Is almost taken it out of the hands of the goalkeeper. So Kimmich comes over to take the throw. Just goes inside to Jonathan Tah. He'll find Alexander Pavlovic. Now it's Leroy Sané on the right side. Here is Kimmich. Kimmich into Musiala. To Antonio Rudiger. Now on the left side with Florian Wirtz. Wirtz up towards Musiala. Tackle goes in and they will break forward. Now it's with Enner Valencia. Enner Valencia running at Jonathan Tah, but the Bayern Munich defenders just able to beat him for pace, and he'll go back to his goalkeeper in all orange, Manuel Neuer, and he'll just give it to his captain, Joshua Kimmich. So Sané inside towards Kimmich. Kimmich across. That's Antonio Rudiger. Antonio Rudiger into David Raum. David Raum into Jonathan Tah. Tah on the ball. Now it is Felix Nemetcha inside. Here is Musiala. Nemetcha with the strike, not far off at all. Just drifted wide of the post. It's looked good so far in this tournament as Felix Nemetcha, but it was him that had his pocket picked for Ecuador's equaliser when Nilson Angulo came forward and just slammed it into the far corner. And it's Tah. Tah will just play it up towards Musiala. Musiala comes all the way back into Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger back into Manuel Neuer now. Neuer goes out onto the right side with Kimmich. There is Tah. Tah into Musiala. Musiala into Tah. There is Pavlovic. Back into the captain Kimmich. Kimmich will launch it up. It's Ordonez who will just play it up towards Yeboah. He's back into Rudiger now. He's coming in instead of Nico Schlotterbeck, who picked up a little bit of an injury. He'll bring you up to date with the substitutes. So I was cut from bringing you the subs when Germany scored their early goal, just 2 minutes into the game. So on the bench for Ecuador, their sub-goalkeepers are Moises Ramirez and Gonzalo Valle. They're alongside Yamar Medina, Jackson Porozo, Felix Torres, Pervis Estupinan, Angelo Preciada, Daniel Castillo, Jordi Alcivar, Kendry Paez, Alan Minder, Anthony Valencia, Jeremy Aravello, Jordi Caicedo and Kevin Rodriguez. So on the bench from Nagelsmann's side, their sub-goalkeepers are Oliver Baumann and Alexander Nubel. He's alongside Voldemar Anton, Malik Chow, Leon Goretzka, Jamie Levlin, Pascal Gross, Angelo Stiller, Nadiem Amiri, Hassan Odraago, Nick Voltemade, Maximilian Bayer and Dennis Undav, who might be frustrated not to start considering he scored 3 goals already off the bench. They don't have Nathaniel Brown or Nico Schlotterbeck, who are both out with injuries. Muscle injury for Brown, a ligament injury for Schlotterbeck. Ecuador with all 15 players on the bench. So Wirtz plays ball into Havertz. Havertz into Raum. That's a good aggressive touch taken by Raum, but and his Pacho just goes back to his goalkeeper and Galindez will launch it up. And then it's Rudiger who'll just clear it away for his side. Now it's with Wirtz, and that'll be a tackle that goes in by Moises Caicedo. That'll be a throw for David Raum to take. So Raum inside. There's Wirtz, brings it down, goes back into Nilson Angulo. It's with number 15, Vite. Vite will go into Moises Caicedo. Back into Vite again. There's Moises Caicedo. And Germany with all of their players behind the ball now. It's out on the left side with Nilson Angulo. Angulo just comes back into Vite. Vite across to Ordonez. Ordonez on the ball. And it's Ecuador just go all the way back into Pacho. Pacho across to Hincapié. Now it's Moises Caicedo. Caicedo out to the right side with Plata. Plata will just give it to Yeboah. Yeboah inside. And back to Caicedo. It's with Vite. Vite's got support, just gives it into Caicedo now. Out on the right side with Ordonez. Ordonez out to Yeboah. Yeboah plays it up towards Enner Valencia, and it's Pavlovic who will just get there and beat it out, and it'll be a throw for Ecuador. It comes all the way back to Pacho. Pacho with Caicedo. Caicedo inside. Up to Angulo, now Vite. With footwork, it's Hincapié who's wrestling up against Joshua Kimmich, and the referee deems that the Arsenal defender has just fouled the Bayern Munich defender. There's a little bit of grappling, it's a little soft because Kimmich is having a little bit of a wrestle with him as well. So ball goes up towards Musiala. Musiala just bundled over. It's a free kick given. To speed at the moment is Tori Penzo, the American official, usually refereeing in the MLS or the Women's League. She did referee Curaçao in their final round for qualification against Bermuda. Small all out on the left side. It's Hincapié. Just receives it from Pacho. Comes across now, and it's with Ordonez. Ordonez into Caicedo. He thought about the early clip forward. Just comes out to the right side with Yeboah. Yeboah will bring it forward. It's back into Caicedo. Right side now with Plata. Plata will cross it in. There is Tar who'll just block it off. And now it's Kai Havertz who will come forward, but that's a loose touch taken by him. It's all the way back to Ordonez. Ordonez into Pacho. Pacho into Caicedo. 20 minutes into this game. Ecuador enjoying a spell on the ball. Comes back into Caicedo. Caicedo clips it up towards Yeboah. That'll be headed away by Tar. It's back out onto the right side now. Now it's Yeboah. Into Caicedo. Hincapié. Got to Nilson Angulo. Angulo thought about going down the left side. Now it's towards Hincapié. Goes to cross it in, and Kimmich will block it off. Kimmich is sure that the final touch came off a man in yellow. But Tori Penzo is given the corner. And now it's an opportunity for Ecuador to deliver in. So cross comes in, Neuer will come out and punch the ball. And it'll be a throw for Ecuador now. As Nilson Angulo will make his way over. Sebastian Becasise in quite dark cargo pants with a white fleece jumper on. It's back into Caicedo now. It's out with Franco, the fullback for Ecuador. It goes across, out on the left side now. Back into Moises Caicedo. Caicedo into Ordonez. Ordonez out to the right side to Enner Valencia. Valencia plays it up towards Yeboah. Yeboah's under a little bit of pressure, but he comes out to the right side with Franco. He crosses it in, and Leroy Sané is just able to boot away for his team. Now it's Jamal Musiala, bundled over from behind, but the referee doesn't think it's a foul. It's Franco. Goes back into Caicedo. Now out to Yeboah. Cross goes in by Franco, cut out. Now it's Yeboah on the ball. A drive inside. Cross goes in, blocked off by Jamal Musiala. Ordonez into Moises Caicedo. There's Yeboah. Yeboah goes back into William Pacho. Ball be clipped over the top. There it is on the left side, and it's Leroy Sané who just gets there ahead of the Ecuador man. Referee does count down Manuel Neuer. So 24 minutes on the clock. Because the ball hasn't gone out yet, we can't quite call for the hydration break. There is Florian Wirtz on the ball. Just comes back into Antonio Rudiger. There is Rudiger with it. It just goes across to Jonathan Tah. Back into Kimmich now. There is Felix Nemetcha. It's out on the right side with Leroy Sané. Now Kimmich. Kimmich just plays a 1-2 with Alexander Pavlovic. Kimmich to Musiala. Out on the right side with Leroy Sané. Sané comes back into Kimmich. There is Alexander Pavlovic. Now Wirtz towards Kai Havertz. Dangerous ball. It's with Caicedo now. He's under a little bit of pressure. Now it's Wirtz into David Raum. Raum will cross it in. Kai Havertz will just head it down the centre of the goal, and that will be comfortable for Galindez. Couldn't have asked for a better ball, could the Arsenal striker. It's floated in, and the 39-year-old in goal, Hernan Galindez, is able to just about get his hands there. So here is Galindez now. Will launch it up. Flicked on by Yeboah. That's Felix Nemetcha. Back to Kimmich. And he'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Neuer. Now it's Rudiger with David Raum. A little loose, and now it's Yeboah who will drive inside, but Raum does well just to get in. Look it out for a throw for Ecuador. Get on with it quickly. Still not hit this in this hydration break. Wirtz into Musiala. Musiala is a little loose on it, and it's back with Vite. Vite on the ball. Goes all the way back into William Patrick. You can't take your eyes off this action at the moment. It's thrilling football. As it's Vite. Vite all the way out on the left side with Plata. Just comes all the way back into William Pacho. Pacho into Vite. To Nkapie. Nkapie into William Pacho. There is Joel Ordonez. Now it's Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo across to William Pacho. Pacho all the way out on the left side with Nilson Angulo. Now it's Caicedo. Caicedo across to Pacho, and Pacho will clip it up, and Leroy Sané will just head it away, and Felix Nemetcha will just get the final touch on it, and 27 minutes on the clock. Tori Penzo will now blow a whistle and say we'll go in for the hydration break, but entertaining game so far, and to be fair, most of the World Tournament games I've done, I've been quite critical of when we're going in for a hydration break, but with how warm it is currently, 29 degrees, I do think it is sensible. Even though there is aircon, players are going to go in and just look after themselves. So all sets of the players are making their way over now. So just in conversation are all the players. As having a deep talk at the moment, but it's Germany who were pegged back after taking the lead. By an Ecuador side that arrived at this tournament as one of the most solid and respected teams in their area. They finished second in the qualifiers behind Argentina, despite the points deduction from the 2022 Brian Castillo case. Standing out for having one of the continent's best defences and a long unbeaten streak. Sebastian Becasise, influenced by Jorge Sampaoli and Marcelo Bielsa. They rely on high intensity, aggressive pressing and quick transitions. They frequently uses 4-2-3-1 along with 4-4-2 or variations of it, featuring a solid double pivot, a creative attacking midfielder and explosive wingers. And that block remains compact with emphasis on defensive solidity and vertical attacks. The defensive line is the team's greatest strength. William Pacho, Piero Hincapié and Joel Ordonez, who sometimes does play as a fullback, all provide balance and strength. In midfield, Moises Caicedo is the box-to-box engine. Up front, Enner Valencia remains lethal, whilst Gonzalo Plata brings pace and flair. And after an inconsistent 2024 Copa America campaign, when they won only one game in the group before being knocked out by Argentina, the eventual champions, in the quarter-finals, Ecuador secured qualification for this tournament with victories that showed collective maturity. This is a team not dependent on one superstar. It is young and balanced. However, goals do remain a problem for them. They scored 14, conceding 5 in 18 games in the qualifiers. So Sebastian Becasise just speaking to all of his players. Julian Nagelsmann just speaking to some members of his backroom staff. And a good conversation. So half an hour into the game and we are going to restart with a throw, I believe, for Ecuador on that far side. So it's Piero Hincapié who'll make his way over to take the throw. We'll restart now. 30 minutes and 30 seconds. Comes all the way back to William Pacho. Pacho into Moises Caicedo. Back to Ordonez. Ordonez back to Galindez, who was under pressure from Kai Havertz. That's Rudiger will head it forward. That's Jamal Musiala. Now David Raum. Raum goes forward, and that's an excellent tackle. Sliding challenge by William Pacho, meaning it'll be a throw for Germany, level with the 18-yard box. David Raum will come over to take the throw. Raum will throw it up towards Musiala. It's Caicedo who'll come away with it. He comes out to the right side. There is Yeboah. Yeboah tries to float it up, but Tar gets there ahead of the Ecuador man, and it's a loose ball back by Florian Wirtz, and now it's Nilson Angulo who come forward for Ecuador. Plays it out to the right side to Enner Valencia, gets a strike away, blocked off, and then Pavlovic will just clear away. There is Musiala on the ball. It's back into Felix Nemecha. Now it's with Tar. Tar across to Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich goes up towards Leroy Sané. There is Sané on the ball. Musiala, now it's with Havertz. Havertz there, out on the right side, level with the 18-yard box, goes back into Kimmich. Kimmich on the ball. He's got options around him. I'll just give it Kai Havertz. It's out to Leroy Sané. Sané a little loose in it, and then Angulo will just bounce it back into Vite. That's confident play by the 24-year-old, but then he does give it away. And now it's David Raum. Raum on the ball. Back into Rudiger. Rudiger over 1-2 with Jonathan Tah. There's a spell on the ball for Germany now. It's Kimmich into Pavlovic, and he's tackled by Angulo. Now it comes up towards Enner Valencia, their record goal scorer for the national side, but it's Pavlovic who gets there, and then go back to Neuer, and at the first time of asking, Neuer will clear away up towards Kai Havertz. It's back with William Pacho. Pacho on the ball. Might just go all the way back. I think he will. He goes back to his goalkeeper Galindez. Galindez just going to play it short out to Joel Ordonez. Ordonez will just send a long ball down the right side and just going to run all the way out for a throw. So it's Kimmich on the ball. Kimmich will come forward. He's inside to Antonio Rudiger. Back into Manuel Neuer. 1-2 between him and Joshua Kimmich. Neuer will clip it up. That'll be headed by Franco. Now Nemecha into Florian Wirtz. Plenty of space coming forward. Wirtz into Musiala. Gets his strike away. That is excellent defending though by Ordonez. He was just able to get across. And the Club Brugge defender does really well. Just sliding in. And once again, that was a good opportunity for Germany as it came into Jamal Musiala. And it was Ordonez who just blocked it off. So it's going to be a corner here, which Florian Wirtz will take. So we're waiting for it to come in. It's Wirtz who will deliver towards the near post, goes all the way through. And then Vite is there. Vite will just give it to Hincapié. It's a pretty cute ball forward for him. He will go down the left side, check back inside now, and comes all the way back into William Pacho. Pacho with a short ball into Vite. Now it's Nilson Angulo, just really direct, but Kimmich does well, and then Neuer is able to get there and get his hands on the ball. Good goalkeeping by the Bayern Munich shot stopper. Ball come all the way back. Back with Tar. Tar back with it. And it's back out to the right side. It's Jonathan Tar into Rudiger. Rudiger back into Jonathan Tar now. Looking around for his options. Just goes to the left side to Rudiger. Rudiger into David Raum. Raum back into Rudiger again. There's Tar. And Tar will just clip it up. That'll be headed by Franco. It's back into Wirtz now. Wirtz with a 1-2 with Jamal Musiala. There's Musiala who's going to try and get a strike away at goal. It's back into Alexander Pavlovic. And now it's up towards Plata. And then it's back with Plata now. Plata into Nilson Angulo. And come back into Hincapié. Hincapié into William Pacho. William Pacho sends it across and just be a long ball sent up. Comes all the way through and Jonathan Tar will get there. Jonathan Tar into Alexander Pavlovic. Tar out to the left side. And into Florian Wirtz. Wirtz into Tar. Tar out to Felix Nemecha. Just comes back into Kimmich. Kimmich out to Nemecha again. That is Leroy Sané inside, and it's Nemecha. Keeps on coming. Shot away on the edge of the box. Ordonez will block it off, and then it's Pavlovic who tries to play it forward, but it hits the referee Tori Penzo, who will just return the ball to Germany. Just slowing the game down though. Pavlovic just played the first time ball and hit the referee who tried to hurdle out the way. So we're back in play now. Leroy Sané. Back into Joshua Kimmich. Now with Tar. Tar into Kimmich again. Out on the right side with Wirtz. Out on the right side, cross goes in. Comes off Angulo. Took a nick off him. Apparently he's actually come off Joshua Kimmich, who doesn't agree with it. Sebastian Bekasise, who is very animated down there, pacing up and down the dugout. Jonathan Tah will just head it forward. Leroy Sané will try and get on it. Then it's back inside. Now it's into Jamal Musiala, who drive forward. Franco will just block it off. It's going to be Wirtz, who crosses it in. That'll be blocked off by the Ecuador defender. So there is Joshua Kimmich. Back into Tar. Tar out on the ball. Back into Kimmich. Kimmich across into Rudiger. Rudiger goes all the way back into Manuel Neuer. Neuer into Tar. Now Rudiger on it. Looking around for his options. Now Tar. Tar back into Kimmich. Kimmich to Leroy Sané. Sané back into Kimmich once again. Just plays it out to the left side. Oh, it's Antonio Rudiger. David Raum just goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. Now back into Rudiger. Rudiger into Raum. Raum will play it up. Raum up towards Jamal Musiala. Now it's Musiala who will play it across. And Caicedo will just boot away. That'll be a throw for Germany, level with the 18-yard box. So Musiala just played it with the outside of his boot, but Moises Caicedo just blocked it off. It's back with Joshua Kimmich. Kimmich into Tar. Tar into Nemetcha. It's going to go all the way out to the right side. It's a poor pass towards Leroy Sané. He'll be disappointed with that. It's going to be a throw for them. And it's into Hincapié. Hincapié a little loose on it. And then it's just going to be returned, as it will be a throw now taken by Vite. It's back inside, it's Tar. All the way back to Manuel Neuer. And it's back to Tar. And then back into Neuer, and it's an awkward pass, but Kimmich gets back on it. Kimmich into Rudiger. Rudiger will just play a long ball up towards Kai Havertz. And it's going to be back inside, and there's actually going to be a yellow card. Piero Hincapié with a foul. Just pulled back Leroy Sané, who was just trying to come forward. Sané's shirt just being held on to. So the ball comes back into Tar now. Tar on it. All the way back inside. Tar will lose it, and now it's Ecuador who can look to come forward. It's Enner Valencia, and I think he's clipped by Alexander Pavlovic, and it is going to be our second yellow card of the game, and that time it's the Bayern Munich defender, Pavlovic, who picks up the booking. Just dragged down by him. Here's Enner Valencia, 36-year-old striker. He used to play for West Ham United. Now playing his club football in Mexico with Pachuca. Also had a spell at Goodison Park at Everton. Galindez plays it up towards Enner Valencia. He'll find Plata. That's out with Franco on this right side. It's almost like a lopsided front three for Ecuador as it does come out to Yeboah Zamora, the 26-year-old. Plays it out to the right side. There is Franco back into Moises Caicedo. Across to Vite. Vite with a ball through. It'll run all the way through to the goalkeeper in all orange, Manuel Neuer. Neuer will throw it out to Kimmich now. Here is Felix Nemecha. Nemecha into Florian Wirtz. There is Nemecha out to the right side with Sane. Sane into Wirtz again. Back across and Sane into Felix Nemecha. There is Kai Havertz. Havertz will just give it to David Raum. Loose actually, and it's back with Havertz now. Back across to Antonio Rudiger. There is David Raum. So in the final minute of normal time, before we find out how much additional time, I guess would be at 5 minutes. 2 goals, 3-minute stoppage for the hydration break. Leroy Sane, 1-2 with Florian Wirtz. Now it's Tar. Tar was caught by Enner Valencia, but Tori Penzo will allow play to continue. It's Sane out on the right side now. Sane on the right flank. It's just 4 minutes actually. It's a bit of a surprise. There was a bit of a stoppage after the first goal because there was a lengthy check. Tar just tries to clip it out to Antonio Rudiger, but it's a really poor ball. As the Germany manager, Julian Nagelsmann, watches on. I say the amount of steps Sebastian Becasise must get in. His watch must be pinging off. It's like he's about to go out on a night out in the town rather than manage a football team. Very coolly dressed with his bleach blonde hair draped down to his shoulders. Final touch comes off Jamal Musiala, so it'll be a throw for Ecuador right in front of Becasise. So it'll be a throw to be taken by Alan Franco. Thought about going back. Looks like he's actually going to look to go up. Just enters the German half, goes up towards Enner Valencia. There is Rudiger into David Raum, and Raum will play a ball up. And that will be cleared away by Pacho, controlled on the chest by Tar. It's back with Kimmich. Kimmich into Sane. Sane's under a little bit of pressure. He's able to spin out of trouble though. Plays it up towards Florian Wirtz, gives it away, and now it's Moises Caicedo on the ball. He goes back into Joel Ordonez. Now Caicedo. Caicedo back into Pacho. Pacho into Caicedo. Caicedo will just launch up towards Enner Valencia. There is Tar who will just get there, and Tar will clear it up towards Florian Wirtz by Hincapié, and then it's great feat by the Sunderland winger Nilson Angulo. It's a delivery that comes in. Tar just able to clear it away on the volley. Wirtz will try to bring it down. Kai Havertz will actually just win it back from Vite. And it will just run out for a throw for Germany, but the referee will just stop it to check on the midfielder. Pedro Vite plays his club football in Mexico with Pumas Unam. Kai Havertz kicked the ball and then stood on the foot of Vite, but I think he'll be okay. It's going to be a throw to be taken by Kimmich. Kimmich will launch it up. It's back with Ordonez. It's with Caicedo, just going to stretch it out to Franco. Franco out to the right side. And then it's given away, and it's an opportunity for Musiala. Musiala into Raum, swings it over. It's touched down by Wirtz. Oh, he holds on to it, now gets his shot away, but Hincapié blocks it off. And now it's back with Manuel Neuer. Manuel Neuer on it. Now Sane. Now Sane plays it inside towards Wirtz. And I think the referee is given the free kick, but he's going to say that that is enough for half time. So level after 49 minutes of football. It's Ecuador 1, Germany 1. wagging his finger, saying it's absolutely never a penalty. They are surrounding the female referee, Tori Penzo. It's just a ball that came up towards Kai Havertz. Yes, he's caught. That's a clear foul. And it's Joel Ordonez who just almost scissors Havertz from behind, and he's entitled to go down there as the Arsenal striker. And it's going to be an opportunity from the spot for the Germans. Sebastian Becker-Cisse is pointing back to a foul earlier in the build-up, saying that Vite was caught. He's so frustrated, is the 45-year-old Argentine, but I don't think this is going to get overturned. It's a clear foul from Joel Ordonez. Oh no, the referee is being sent to the screen. So maybe it's because of the foul earlier in the build-up that it should be a free kick. I mean, it's absolutely a clear foul in the box, so they can't be overturning that. It must be in the build-up. The referee has been sent over to the screen, and they're saying that Vite was fouled by Leroy Sané, who just kicks the shin of Vite. I mean, it's a little soft. He doesn't get any of the ball and he kicks the leg, so if you say that's a foul, then I guess so, but it's a little soft for me. It's supposed to be a high bar with the VAR, so they are checking. She's deep in conversation at the moment. The referee's going to announce now. So she'll blow a whistle and speak to the supporters. So after review, she is pulling it back for a free kick. Sebastian Becker-Cisse is going to celebrate. Julian Nagelsmann shakes his head, but it's for an earlier foul on Vite. Apparently Leroy Sané catching him. Can't necessarily disagree with the decision. It's a little soft. Probably was a foul and probably is the correct call. So, no penalty. Not disagreeing, but Joel Ordonez fouled Kai Havertz in the box, but it was a free kick earlier in the build-up. So there is Ordonez on the ball. Ordonez inside, back across, and it's going to be a throw for Ecuador. Out on that far side now. It was Ordonez with it. He just tried to nutmeg David Rama. Actually be a foul. I think the referee's given. Yes, it's going to be a wide free kick. So it is Moises Caicedo who's made his way over to take this free kick. So Germany's defensive line 20 yards out as the Chelsea midfielder is going to look to deliver it in. It's a cross all the way towards the far post. Tar tries to clear it away, but it will run all the way through to Hincapié. Hincapié will keep it in, and there is Kimmich. Kimmich's going to launch it up towards Leroy Sané. Blocked off there by Ordonez, and it's going to be a throw for Germany. And it's clear. Delay of the restart there by Alan Franco. Picks up a yellow card. Picked up a ball off the pitch and threw it on, so Germany couldn't get on with it quickly. So it was a little subtle, but it was seen, and it is a bit of a silly yellow card for the 27-year-old Franco to pick up. So Kimmich will take the throw. Kimmich will launch it up to Musiala. Musiala, loose touch, going to be cleared away by Ecuador. It's Tar. I'll just see it out, and Enner Valencia actually falls into the Ecuador substitutes. Just bundled over. Valencia by Jonathan Tar, which was a little stronger. Fell into Sebastian Becker-Cisse. So cleared away by Moises Caicedo. Long ball up and it will run out for a throw now. Joshua Kimmich will come and get it. Long throw up towards Havertz. Now it's Leroy Sané down the right side. Sané will drive inside, and there is Ordonez. Ordonez into Angulo. Angulo will send a long ball up, and it's going to be a throw for Germany. So it's Joshua Kimmich who's going to take the throw. Launched up to Florian Wirtz, headed away by Hincapié. Now it's Kimmich to Jamal Musiala. Now it's Felix Nemetcha with Leroy Sané. Comes inside towards Nilson Angulo. Angulo into Yeboah. Yeboah out to the right side. And now it's into Franco. Franco will just carry it forward. Just play it inside now. Now it's Moises Caicedo. Moises Caicedo out to the left flank. Here is Piero Hincapié. Hincapié across, and it's with Joel Ordonez. Ordonez out to Alan Franco. And Franco all the way back into Ordonez. Oh, that's loose by him, and now it's Kai Havertz who will play it up towards Jamal Musiala. This is an opportunity for them. Musiala with the ball. Finds Angelo Stiller. Comes all the way back to Jonathan Tah. Tah on it and back across to Kimmich. Now it's with Leroy Sané. Into Kimmich now. Kimmich with a quick 1-2 with Jonathan Tah. It'll be given away. Now it's Angulo coming down the left flank. There is Nilson Angulo all the way out on the right side. Touched down by Yeboah. Yeboah's going to run it David Raum. Yeboah comes in, crosses it in, and it's Antonio Rudiger who's got the final touch on it, and it will be a corner. Ecuador look dangerous on the break when they get going. It was Yeboah who was surging forward for Ecuador there. Went down the right side. Eventually got his cross in. Knocked off by Rudiger. So we're going to wait for the corner to come in from that far side. Plenty of bodies in the middle. Hustling and bustling at the moment. Comes all the way to the far post. And Enner Valencia can only send it into the hands of Manuel Neuer, although the ball had already gone out to play. So it will be a free kick. Back with Tah into Rudiger. Rudiger out to David Raum. Raum will just play it down the side and then it'll run through to Manuel Neuer. It's Neuer on the ball. Neuer is bouncing it. He's going to look to send a long ball up. Let's go all the way forward. It's across to Leroy Sané. Sané loses it, and it's the goal scorer Angulo who will come forward. There's Angelo Stiller. Now Raum into Musiala. Musiala into Havertz. Now Stiller. Now to Sané. It's Leroy Sané who's going to come forward out on the right side, but he's well tackled. And now it's back with the Arsenal defender. Hincapié goes back to Ordonez, who will just clear it up. Go all the way through. Angulo keeps the ball. It's a little sloppy to me. Sebastian Bekasise still extremely animated down on the touchline at the moment. This is back with Hincapié. Hincapié on the ball. Go back into his goalkeeper, Hugo Galindez. Galindez on it. Just get the ball out of his feet and he will clip it up now. Runs all the way through and out for a throw. The fourth official is speaking to Julian Nagelsmann and a member of his backroom staff. Quite animated about something. I'm not too sure what Nagelsmann isn't too happy about. So long ball goes up, it's going to be headed forward. There it is, and it's going to go back into William Pacho. Pacho out onto the right flank now. It's with Ecuador. Ecuador with it, it's Yeboah. Yeboah will just try and send it down the line, and it's David Raum who will just block it off for his team. Javier Mascherano is in the stands today watching on. Chewing his nails at the moment. As it's going to go all the way up, it's out on the left flank. It's back inside and out onto the right side now. Now it's Tar. Tar on it. Tar will just give it into Kimmich. Kimmich inside towards Tar. Into Jamal Musiala. Musiala into Angelo Stiller. He's spotted a foul. Nagelsmann still frustrated. There is Antonio Rudiger. Long ball goes up towards Kai Havertz, but Hugo Galindez out of his goal to collect. So it was at half-time Alexander Pavlovic, the 22-year-old who made his way off, the son of a German mother and a Serbian father. He's a Munich native and has been wearing the Bayern shirt since he was just 7 years of age. That is certainly a good place, starting place to become a club legend, and ever since Thomas Tuchel promoted him to the first team 3 years ago, he has been part of Bayern's starting 11. The man that came on for him is Angelo Stiller, the 25-year-old who plays for Stuttgart, has been linked with a move to Real Madrid. He was initially not included in the squad for the March friendlies with Stiller, which Julian Nagelsmann said would give a clearer indication of who was going to the World Cup. However, after injuries to Alexander Pavlovic and Felix Nemetcha, he was not only called up but started both wins against Switzerland and Ghana. Nagelsmann said that Stiller is an outstanding footballer with enormous potential and very consistent performances. So Stiller, this good opportunity for him to impress, as it is William Pacho, the Paris Saint-Germain defender, who's just caught there by Leroy Sané. And there's going to be a couple changes for Germany. And we're actually going to see their captain Joshua Kimmich come off, so Julian Nagelsmann maybe just looking to protect Kimmich. He's probably seen as the best player, the star of this German side, the captain who typically plays in defensive midfield for Germany, but is playing at right fullback, I should say defensive midfield for Bayern Munich, plays right fullback for the national side. It's a pity, it must be said, that there are not two Joshua Kimmichs, one for central midfield, one for defence. And then the endless debate about which position he is more suited to could be avoided. But for Bayern's manager Vincent Kompany, he is first choice number 6 under Julian Nagelsmann. He was first the right back, then briefly returned to midfield, and is now meant to do everything at once as a defensive playmaker. And build-up play moves him right back into the centre, which can be risky if he loses the ball. Luckily for him, he doesn't lose the ball very often. So coming on for him is Newcastle United's Malik Thiaw, the 24-year-old who used to play at AC Milan. It's the first appearance of the tournament for Thiaw. He can do something that almost certainly no other German international can: speak Finnish. His mother is Finnish, whilst his father comes from Senegal. Joined Newcastle for just under 35 million last year and immediately established himself as a regular. quiet leader, but Newcastle's manager Eddie Howe describes him as a very, very calm, pretty quiet, but very focused player. According to his teammate Nick Voltemade, he can't head the ball, but somehow nodded home 2 goals in 1 Premier League this season. So the other change is seeing Kai Havertz, the Arsenal striker, who thought that he'd won a penalty for Germany. The Arsenal forward scored the winning goal in the 2021 Champions League final for Chelsea against Manchester City. He's not reached 60 appearances yet. The man that's come on for him is their super sub, Dennis Undav, who in 2 substitute appearances has already scored 3 goals and got 2 assists. The 29-year-old who plays alongside Angelo Stiller at Stuttgart. And Undav was by far the most clinical German striker this season, but for some reason Nagelsmann does not seem to rate him. He scored the winning goal in the March friendly against Ghana, but afterwards the coach offered no praise. It's an opportunity here for Ecuador, and it's Enner Valencia with the effort on the edge of the box, and it's had to be saved by Manuel Neuer, just pushing it out to the right side. There is Tar. Comes up into Musiala, he's a little loose. Franco all the way back into William Pacho now. There is William Pacho back into Valencia now. Ecuador on the ball. Goes across to Joel Ordonez. Ordonez will give it into Moises Caicedo. Here's Caicedo all the way back. Out onto the left side. So Chow on it. Musiala. Musiala will drive forward, gives it into Undav. Undav finds Florian Wirtz. He's got support, but he might go himself. Gets a shot away. Comes out to David Around now. Around crosses it in. Undav is waiting for it, but that's brilliant goalkeeping by the 39-year-old Hugo Galindez in his all-grey goalkeeper kit. He's just able to collect it as it just came across to him. Really brave goalkeeping by Galindez, who holds on to it really well. So there's going to be a change for Ecuador. So it is going to be Enner Valencia, the legend of the national team. The 36-year-old will make his way off the pitch, leading the line, former Pajuca man. We're also going to see, and on a yellow card, Alan Franco, the right wing-back. He will make his way off there, will Franco. Typically plays as a midfielder. Here's another who's come through the youth system at Independiente del Valle. His career path has been shaped not only by football but by personal loss. His father, Pedro Franco, unfortunately died during the COVID pandemic in 2020, just days before Alan signed for Atletico Mineiro. He's dedicated subsequent trophies and goals to his father. So Franco has come off. Coming on for him is a man that plays alongside him at Atletico Mineiro, Angelo Preciado, the 24-year-old. Another man who was raised in the Independiente del Valle Academy. He came through a difficult childhood to make it this far. When he was 16, his father had closely guided his son's development, was jailed. That shock made Preciado even more determined, and he has since grown into a key figure for Ecuador. Maybe best known to some for an incident in February 2018 when he went viral online after TV footage showed him using a corner flag to defend himself during a mass brawl in the under-20 Copa Libertadores. As I said, it's Enner Valencia who has come off, and the man that has come on for him is number 11, Kevin Rodriguez, who plays his club football out in Belgium with USG, Union Saint-Gilles, former winners of the Belgian Pro League. He emerged from Imbabura in Ecuador's Serie B. And Rodriguez surprised fans with his rapid rise, his call up to the 2022 World Tournament squad as a second-tier player, being heavily criticised. That marked a gear shift in his career. Soon afterwards, he signed for Independiente del Valle and made a quick impression on overseas scouts with his height and strength. He's known as La Rola. Moved to Belgium with Union Saint-Gilles in 2023, making his debut in a Europa League group game against Toulouse. Struggled for goals at first, but hit form just at the right time to secure his place in the squad. And as I say, he's come on for their figurehead, Enner Valencia, who's known as Superman for a reason. His nation's all-time leading goal scorer. And scored a record 6 World Tournament goals for Ecuador, and is still going strong at 36 after joining Pachuca, where he once lifted the Liga MX Golden Boot. Played at West Ham, Everton, Tigres, Fenerbahce, Internacional, and now back in Mexico. There's also been a change for Germany here. Ball comes back into Galindez. Galindez in his all grey goalkeeper kit. He'll just launch it up and head it on. It's back into Malik Chow now. Now Wirtz. Wirtz down the centre of the pitch, finds the super sub. Dennis Undav comes back into Wirtz. Can he sort his feet out? He can. It's well defended by Preciado and will be a throw. It's going to go back inside. On the edge of the box to Leroy Sané. It's really poor as he just tried to play it into Angelo Stella. And the referee decided that this is a good time to go in for a hydration break. So both sets of players will make their way over to get some refreshments on board. And as I was mentioning, Germany have made a change. It's Felix Nemecha, who's been a star for Germany so far, the Borussia Dortmund midfielder, a man that is born in Hamburg, raised in England and developed at Manchester City. That is Nemecha's backstory. But despite that, and English being his first language, the German FA secured his international future early. Along with that of his brother Lucas, Felix recently extended his contract at Dortmund and is expected to be one of the pillars of the club's future. He's developed into one of the most physically dominant central midfielders in the league, combining that with good technique and a good shot. And the man that's come on for him is Maximilian Bayer, a player that plays alongside Nemecha at Borussia Dortmund, the 23-year-old, first appearance at the World Tournament so far. The only player to have been born in the east of the country. Bayer is a big darts fan, and when he scores he sometimes celebrates by throwing an imaginary dart. He said he was expected to be an impact substitute, and he's got that opportunity now. When announcing the squad, Julian Nagelsmann praised Bayer's diligence. Bayer said that the most important coach of his career has been Patrick Schrade, one of the coaches at the Youth Academy boarding school of Energy Cottbus, as both managers, Sebastian Becasise and Julian Nagelsmann, have got their sides in a huddle, just speaking to them. So there is a total attendance here. We're up to 3,605,357. And there are 80, just under 80,000 inside the stadium right here in New York. Enjoying an entertaining game so far, but Ecuador are going to have to find a goal from somewhere. Remember that a goal is not enough a draw, shall I say. It's probably not enough for Ecuador. Curaçao are currently losing 2-0 to Ivory Coast. Piero Hincapié is going to be substituted off here. The Arsenal fullback, who's usually plays every minute of every game, the 24-year-old, but he's hobbling off the pitch here. And Piero Hincapié will make his way off, and coming on for him is Pervis Estupinan. Estupinan, who plays out in Italy at the San Siro with AC Milan. Like for like change, maybe a more attacking option really, Estupinan coming on, but Ecuador are going to have to chuck more at this game. They need to win this game. A win would likely guarantee themselves a spot in the knockout stage. A draw would likely not be enough. Estupinan on for his second appearance here. Former Brighton and Hove Albion man is Estupinan. Where's the number 7 shirt? It's the first ever Ecuadorian to play for AC Milan. And that's a mistake from Germany. Neuer comes out. Ecuador go round. It gets pulled back. This could be a goal. No, it somehow goes wide. And I think it's Manuel Neuer that makes the mistake. And what a brilliant opportunity that is for number 19, Gonzalo Jordi Plata. He just throws himself at the ball. It was Neuer and Tar who got in a little bit of a mix-up there. Got pulled back by Moises Caicedo. And then Plata, who's just trying to chuck every limb at the ball, has just not been able to divert it into the goal, just past the post. Jonathan Tar has apologised. It was on a platter for Plata. So there's been a change in that stoppage for Journey. Florian Wirtz, who looks twice the player for his national side that he does for Liverpool in the Premier League. Wirtz, who is known as the player who made Bayer Leverkusen's miraculous League and Cup double in 2024 possible, ending Bayern Munich's long-standing dominance. He's also shone for Germany, including a sensational performance in the 4-3 victory against Switzerland in March, but his major breakthrough is yet to come. He's had an up-and-down first season at Anfield after his 100 million transfer last summer, with his now departed manager Arne Slot saying things will only get better. So he has come off, and coming on for him is a man that plays his club football in the Premier League with Brighton and Hove Albion, Pascal Gross, the 35-year-old. He returned home in January, not to Mannheim, where he was born, but to the English seaside town of Brighton. He played there for 7 years before moving to Borussia Dortmund, his first ever major European club. In the end, however, he wasn't able to make an impact with the Bundesliga side and made the switch back. Once seen as a potential successor to Toni Kroos, Kroos has not lived up to that. Curious fact, he suffers from a grass allergy, quite inconvenient for a footballer. To avoid getting rashes, he tends to play in long sleeve shirts. Could be pretty hot for Pascal Gross here. Once again in a long shirt. Quarter of an hour left. It's a free kick for Manuel Neuer to take on the edge of his own box. He's going to launch it up. Out on the left side, cross goes in towards Maximilian Bayer. Tries to chuck every limb at the ball, unable to. Gross will keep it alive. And it's going to go out for a goal kick. All the way through, Gross chucked everything at the ball, but he was unable to get there. It's back with William Pacho. Pacho across to Pervis Estupinan. Estupinan sending it long towards Rodriguez. That's Rodriguez who will go chaser, but David Around just gets there first and goes back to Manuel Neuer. Neuer with a long ball up to Undaf. What a touch that is by Sane. Can he get the ball out of his feet? He chucks it back, and somehow he sends it straight into the hands of Hugo Galindez. And the Galatasaray winger should put them in front there. He did really well just racing forward there. But just as he checked back inside, he's ended up sending it into the hands of the goalkeeper, Hugo Galindez. Ecuador will come forward again. It's with Pervis Estupiñán. Estupiñán will just play it into Vite. Vite into Caicedo. Long ball goes up. Yeboah into Rodriguez. Controls it on his chest. That's brilliant defending by Germany. Jonathan Tah, I think, was the man that got the block in. But the Ecuadorian supporters are praying for a late winner here. What would be a famous victory, but would also secure their spot in the knockout stages. It's actually Angelo Stiller that's got the crucial block. Leroy Sané will be so frustrated that he didn't take his chance as he came forward down that left side. 2 shots on target for Ecuador, 3 for Germany so far. It's going to be a corner on that far side. All the way into the near post, it's headed on and it's flicked in, and Ecuador have stolen it. Ecuador are in front, 78 minutes on the clock, and it's a sea of yellow jumping up and down. Sebastian Becasese, the manager, throws himself into the stands, but it's Ecuador who are 2-1 up here against Germany. An incredible moment. It looked impossible before the start of the game, but now it might just be possible. And it's Plata, who had an outstanding opportunity just a couple of minutes ago, who has just slammed it into the back of the net, and Ecuador are 2-1 up now. It's knocked on. Neuer tried to come for the ball, but Plata just got his foot there ahead of him. Angelo Stiller's back on the line, so he can't be offside. And it's the Flamengo winner, who perhaps has sealed Ecuador's spot in the knockout stages of the World Tournament. Manuel Neuer looks up to the skies, but Germany are 2-1 down against Ecuador now. Jubilant scenes from the side in yellow and blue. Rodriguez and Vite kiss the head of Plata, who has got the goal. His first for Ecuador since November 2024 against Bolivia. And now it's Nilson Angulo who'll come forward. What a moment in the game that is for Ecuador. Germany will be so frustrated because they've played well at times, find themselves behind as Rudiger goes back into the goalkeeper, Neuer. Neuer out to the right side into Chow. Chow across. Back into Tar. Here is Tar on the ball. Now Malik Chow. Looks like Ecuador might make a couple of changes here just to freshen it up. Can you believe it? Ecuador leading Germany. Nilson Angulo has now gone down to the ground. Play carries on though. It comes into Angelo Stiller. Stiller into the right flank with Maximilian Bayer. Ball goes out to that far side. It's a poor pass actually, and Ecuador will now come forward. This is an opportunity now for Ecuador. Comes inside towards Enner Valencia. It's a great ball, floated in behind. Neuer comes out and collects. It's good goalkeeping by Neuer as it was aimed towards Preciado. Just roll it out now to Stiller. Now it's with Gross. And Stiller with it. Comes back into Tar. Tar receives it from Malik Chow. That's Tar. What's on the left side? Now Malik Chow. Now Chow will just give it to Jonathan Tar. Jonathan Tar to Rudiger. All the way out on the left side. And now it's out on the right side for Ecuador. Ecuador with it. Go down the right side. Come all the way back. Now it's with Preciado. Preciado will just give it to Joel Ordonez. Ordonez out to Estupinal. Now it's Angulo. Angulo to Plata. Now Yeboah. Ecuador are enjoying themselves here. Very confident on the ball. Angelo Stiller is fouled. Play will continue though. The referee clearly didn't think it was a foul. They haven't given Denis Undav an opportunity just yet. Ball comes back to Pacho. This result would leave Germany top of the group with 6 points, Ivory Coast second with 6 points, and Ecuador on 4 points in third place, which surely must be enough for a qualification to the knockout stages. Curaçao would be left on 1 point. Here is Pacho into Plata. There is Maximilian Bayer. Bayer plays it inside. Tries to give it to Pascal Gross. Can't find him. Now Ecuador on it. And ball goes up. Tar trying to be as strong as possible. We'll just go across to Antonio Rudiger now. There is Rudiger on the ball. Gives it into Jonathan Tar. Ball into Leroy Sané. Given away though by Maximilian Bayer, and now it's an opportunity for Ecuador coming forward. Now it's Preciado, finds Yeboah, cut back. Play will continue as Germany win it. It's David Raum. Raum of Leipzig will carry it forward. Now Undav. Now Musiala. Still have plenty left in their tank though, Germany. They scored a late dramatic 94th minute winner against Ivory Coast. They might be looking for an equaliser, but they've still got that goal scoring exploits of Denis Undav as Musiala comes back into Stiller. Stiller into Chow. Maximilian Bayer. Maximilian Bayer on it. Will come up and be cleared away. And it's back with Moises Caicedo. Out to the left side now, and it's Vite. He's going to be caught, and it's going to be a free kick for Ecuador. Maximilian Bayer with the foul. He's catching the man down in front of him. Ecuador substitute bench isn't happy with the level of contact. It's the flick from Rodriguez as he just flicked it on towards Plata, and Becca Cisse celebrated by jumping into the stands. Massive moment in the game for Ecuador, as they are going to make some changes now. It's Nilson Angulo who will come off. Nilson Angulo who will come off, and so will John Yeboah. Played well today is Yeboah. Carried the ball forward extremely well. Ball goes up towards Placiada. Can't hold on to it. Substitutes are going to see a defender come on. Felix Torres plays his club football with Internacional in Brazil. Torres actually surprised everyone with his progress. A skinny boy from Esmeraldas. He didn't look like an obvious future dominant international centre-back. Daniel Pina, a club coach on a scouting mission in 2015. To check a different player training for Alianza del Palon. Noticed Torres instead and signed him up. He's a proper leader. He made his international debut in 2019 and brings maturity and work ethic to the back line. Ball comes up and Chow just being wrestled with. Nilson Angulo played really well. Of course, got the goal, did Angulo, to pull Ecuador back into the game after falling behind so early on against Germany. His senior career started in 2021 with LDU Quito. His talent quickly drew attention from overseas scouts. He moved to Belgium's Anderlecht in 2022 on a 5-year deal. He consistently had productive displays in their first team, which earned links with a host of Premier League clubs before Sunderland signed him for 17.5 million in the last transfer window. Jordi Caicedo is onto the pitch as well, a classic number 9, 28 years of age, plays for Curaçao. He brings power, presence and a scoring instinct with a strong heading ability. 2019 he spoke about his first steps in football, growing up in the humble neighbourhood of Nuevo Pilo in Macala. His career is taken in spells in Brazil, Bulgaria, Mexico, Turkey and Spain. He's now in Argentina with Curaçao. Germany have got a free kick, a wide free kick here in the 87th minute of the game. It's David Raum who will take the free kick. He's going to look to deliver it in. There's a little bit of grappling inside the 6-yard box right now. Ecuador are a really good defensive side. Sebastian Becasise is urging for his players to stay switched on here. So animated, doesn't stop pacing. It's Raum. Delivery in towards the near post. It's going to be headed by Felix Torres. And go back out for a corner. I think it was actually Pervis Estupinan who has headed it away. It's David Raum who puts the ball down. Right arm up in the air. Left-footed cross. Headed away by Estupinan. Musiala goes all the way back to Neuer. Germany are looking for a late equaliser. Neuer back into Musiala. Here is Stiller. Nagelsmann spoke about how winning breeds winning. He wants to have that mentality. It's going to be a yellow card, in fact, for Plata. Late tackle by him. Catches Jamal Musiala. Gonzalo Plata picks up the yellow card. As David Raum is getting ready to send this wide free kick from this left side in. Set up for a left footer. Referee Tori Penza just reminding him not to foul as the delivery comes in, headed by Torres. Gross is unable to bring it down. Played up in the air. I'm sure there's a foul in there. There's all sorts of fouls in the middle, but it is Bayer heads it on towards Rudiger. Still bouncing around. It's just going to be booted away by Preciado. It's going to be handled by Rodriguez. No, it's not. And now it's an opportunity for Rodriguez just to hold on to it. Goes out to the right side with Preciado out on that right side. He'll float it forward, but Manuel Neuer will come out to his goal and collect. He'll roll it out to David Raum, a left fullback. Raum on the ball now. As it stands, Ecuador will be top of the third place rankings, above Bosnia and Herzegovina, who are also on 4 points, but have got -1 goal difference. They surely would be enough for Ecuador to seal their spot in the knockout stages. Ball goes up, but Felix Torres will just boot it away. Scotland down in the 8th spot. We're into 7 additional minutes now. Can Germany break Ecuadorian hearts? Pascal Gross inside to Jonathan Tah. Tah out to the left side where David Raum is. Raum back to Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger would stretch it to Malik Chow. He's a central defender, but he's playing it right back here. He gives it to Stiller. Back into Raum. Raum up towards Musiala. Heavy touch taken by him, but Musiala on the ball. Comes back into Stiller. Now Raum. Cross goes in. Headed by Estupiñán. Comes out to Chow. Can't compose himself. But Tar will give it to Gross. On the right flank now. Gross crosses it in. Comes back off Torres. Now Estupiñán. Back into Jonathan Tar. And now it's the opportunity for Ecuador perhaps to break forward. Tar will break it off. Now it's Estupiñán. Estupiñán on the ball. Will clip it over the top, but it's just going to bounce all the way through, and Neuer will come out. I'll just give it to David Raum. There is Raum on the ball. Raum into Angelo Stiller. Raum with it on the left side. There is Stiller. Now Tar. Tar out to Chow. Back into Jonathan Tar. He'll find Angelo Stiller. Gets the ball out of his feet. Goes into Raum. Dangerous cross. Felix Torres gets his head there. Cleared away by Preciado. Rudiger's got no option but to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, Manuel Neuer. Neuer will just play a short ball into Rudiger. 93 minutes on the clock. Just under 5 minutes left. Raum. First time delivery. Gross with the layoff to Undav. Undav with the strike. Hits it into the side netting, and it's the first opportunity he's had. The Stuttgart striker is convinced he should have a corner. I think he might have a point. You just know when he gets an opportunity, even if it's a half chance, that he might take it. Those Ecuadorian supporters are pleading for their side to see on to this game now. One ball sent up. It's cleared away. Undav will try and hold on to it. It's Preciado who will actually just boot it away for his side. It's going to go all the way through. And it's out on the left side with Raum. Raum will carry it forward. Heavy legs for Germany. Musiala. Back into Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger across to Tar. Tar into Sane. Sane into Maximilian Bayer. Gross with a ball into Bayer. Does really well, does Torres. And Caicedo to Plata. Cheaply given away to David Raum on the left side. There is Raum all the way back into Antonio Rudiger. Rudiger will give it to Angelo Stiller. Angelo Stiller out to David Raum. Raum into Stiller now. Now across to Jonathan Tar. There is Maximilian Bayer. Purvis Estupiñán. Last touch comes off him. The Ecuador subs are all stood up, urging that their side stay switched on. Sebastian Becasise still screaming down on the touchline. Maximilian Bayer will throw it up. We're headed by Torres. It's going to be another opportunity for a long throw, perhaps, for the Germans. The Ecuadorians are just praying. Headed away, but only to the edge of the box. Sane will try flick it on. It's going to be Gross on the half turn. Gets his strike away, but sends it over the bar. And Ecuador, who are ranked 23 in the world, against a German side that are ranked 10th in the world, and they are currently winning by 2-1, are Ecuador. Angelo Stiller goes back into Pascal Gross. Gross will receive it. Gives it into Musiala. Chow tries to play it into Undav. They lose it. The last touch comes off a German player. They are still urging them to stay switched on. Becasise is incredibly animated down there. Absolute chaos. Goes all the way back to Neuer. There are Ecuador supporters crying. Tears of worry. Out on the left side now. Chow heads it on, cleared away by Felix Torres. Now's an opportunity perhaps for Ecuador. It's going to go all the way out on the left side. It's with number 19, Plata. Plata will drive inside. It's David Raum who's just holding on to his hand. It's going to be a free kick. And with a minute left now, there's going to be an opportunity level with the 18-yard box. The referee, Tori Penzo's having a giggle with the Ecuadorian players. As Plata was just held on to by Gross. Can't really complain there. As Ecuador supporters are partying up in the stands at the moment. Outstanding noise coming from them. I think they're going to take the time, Ecuador. It's going to be taken by Caicedo. Caicedo just plays it inside. Actually not being taken. The referee said that they went too early, so he's told them to try again. Now Esteban. Blocked off by Pascal Gross, and the referee's going to end it there. And what a victory for Ecuador! A famous victory for Ecuador, who come away winning 2-1. It looked after just 2 minutes that it was going to be a difficult task. Well, they have turned it around, and surely 4 points with a level goal difference is going to be enough for Ecuador to head through to the last 32 of the competition. There are Ecuador players down in tears. They're partying up in the stands. Sebastian Becasise, the Ecuador manager, is holding back the tears here. What an emotional, incredible moment for Ecuador, who surely